Welcome back to Further Solutions Academy. Further Solutions Academy. Encourage us more, help us to share our video anywhere you see it, and also subscribe if you have not subscribed before. We have over 220 videos on our platform. It means you can come to our platform and learn any topic of your choice: maths, physics, chemistry. And any topic you are expected to be there and it is not there yet, drop a comment below, or you reach us on this line 2348034495990. With this line, you can call us, you can WhatsApp us, and also Telegram is allowed. Telegram is allowed, either of the three. Okay, I have temperature for you, which is to be the beginning of this part, which is it will contain 2 or 3 videos because it's a very wide part of physics, which is temperature and its measurement. Temperature and its measurement. You know, we have to be mostly basically based on Celsius and Kelvin and centigrade, which is farad. You know, those things we really take a lot of them and calculation on them and how to convert them. You know, I'm supposed to write the outline anyway, but no problem. Let's see what we can do. But let me explain temperature and its measurement. When you hear the word temperature, it's always degree of coldness or hotness of a particular body. You know, how hot or cold it is. That is what we are talking about on temperature. Now, and there's no way we talk about temperature, there must be heat. There must be heat, you know, when the heat applied, there is heat applied to something, and there will be a increase in temperature. Now, let me write something on heat. Let me first start from heat, because you have to understand heat. It will let us to know whether there is room or high temperature or below or average temperature. Now, let me explain it. Heat is the measure of the total internal energy of a body. It is form of energy to a temperature. Difference. That is what we talk about heat energy. That is what we mean by heat. You know, heat is measured of the total internal energy of a body. You know, I've told you earlier. Now, it is a form of energy to a temperature difference. You know, there must be a difference in temperature and other things. Now, when we now talk about temperature, which is very, very important. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body and is related to the energy of movement. Is the response. Now, also temperature is measured by different type of thermometer. In any of this scale. The first one, we call it absolute or Kelvin scale. The second one, we call it Celsius or centigrade scale. And the third one, we call it Farad scale. Now, these are the three scales that are possible for temperature. The first one is known as absolute, which is also called Kelvin scale, Celsius, or we call it centigrade scale, and Farad. Now, when we have this, you have to understand how this. I will beg you, please make sure you read state of matter very well. You understand the function of him, solid stage, liquid stage, and gas stage. When you get to your state of matter, you will understand that part very well. I may not be able to talk about that because there is no time here with me. Now, and let me try to illustrate all this with the head of diagram. Now, normally, you know what thermometer is. Thermometer always rise and fall. I think you should have them in your lab. When you go back to your school or any of your institution, you can go to your lab. You're allowed to check. You see how it is. It rise and fall depending on the degree, the temperature of that particular environment. Now, if I bring thermometer to this lab, to my studio here, now it will measure the degree of hotness of this studio, which I will know that, even though you have it in the hospital, you put it there and you check your temperature. What is always there is lead. Lead is always there. It rise and fall, and it contains lead and test tube. Okay, now let me quickly show some diagram representation of some. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. Now, I have 1, 2, 3. The first one for Farad, for Celsius, and for Kelvin. Now, for your information, let me put more light. Kelvin is always at standard, which is always for, this is always for solid. Only for solid. Why this one for liquid, and this for gas. This for gas. Now, for your information, we have something like this, and also have it like this. Now, let me call this one Kelvin. Let me call it Kelvin. Now, I have that as Kelvin. Now, let me call this one Celsius. And also, let me call this one Farad. Now, these are the three scales that I've mentioned earlier. Now, let me call this place, at this point, we call it steam. It becomes steam point. Steam point means it becomes gas and move up. Evaporation. Now, this one, call it ice or ice point. It means that point, it will, all know what is called ice block in our home. Now, from here now, Now let me call it, this one will be fundamental. Fundamental interval. Now there must be interval. You know what interval is. Now, which I have this from my Celsius, it will start from 273 Kelvin. It means when this reach to 273, it's now on solid. Now, which is very high, and also 273 Kelvin. Now, that is standard, which is for Kelvin scale. Now, for my Celsius, it will be Celsius starts from 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, now to 100 degrees Celsius, and also the last one will be 32 degrees Farad to 212 degrees Farad. Those are the things that you can have on that part. And don't forget, fundamental interval, we always have it as a fundamental interval is always equals to steam point minus ice point. That is what fundamental interval is all about. Now, steam point minus what? Ice point. Now, fundamental interval can also be interval for scale is always, fundamental interval for Kelvin Kelvin is 273 Kelvin minus 273 Kelvin, which will surely give me 100 which only give me 100 Kelvin, which is to give me 100 Kelvin. That is for that. Now also we need to know that okay, let me quickly another thing you need to understand there is that we need to understand that convection between temperature and temperature scale. Let me use temperature scale. I wanted to use it before. The first thing we have it to convert from Farad which is 0 degrees Celsius and us to Celsius. Use this formula. Now my formula is always equals to my Celsius equals to 5 all over 9 bracket of Farad minus 32. That is all about that. Now let me use example to back this statement up. What is the equivalent of a temperature of 120 degree Farad in degree Celsius? Now, if I have this it means my farad is always equals to 120 degree farad. Now, I can say, therefore, my Celsius, degree Celsius, will be 5 all over 9, bracket of 120 minus 32, which I will have it as, which also will be 1 multiplied by 88, which I will be having, my answer will be equals to 48 degree, that is what I have it, I have on Celsius. That is what I have on Celsius. Now, I will go for number 2 anyway. Okay, number 2. Now, number 2. Okay, let's talk about number 2, or second part of it. Now, number 2, to convert from degree to, to convert to degree Celsius or degree Celsius, to convert from degree Celsius to degree Celsius to, which is degree Celsius, to degree farad. This is farad. Now, I want to use my formula. The formula of that will be degrees farad will be equals to 9 degrees Celsius divided by 5 plus 32. That is what we are talking about. Or you can say that 1.8, you have it this way, or farad equals to 1.8 degrees Celsius plus 32. Anyhow, anyone you want to use. That is, you are allowed to. Now, let me give an example on this. The freezing point of alcoholic, or let me use another liquid. The freezing point of alcoholic the freezing point of alcoholic, which is minus 1 degree Celsius. What is the temperature in degree Farad? Now, I want to have this. Don't forget my Celsius is, degree Celsius is equals to minus 115 degrees Celsius. Since I know that, I can now say that my farad will be equals to 1.8 multiplied by minus 115 plus 32, which I'll be having 1 minus 207 plus 32, which I'll be having minus 75, minus 175 degree Farad. That is my conversion. That is my conversion. Now, and let me also give the conversion on Kelvin, which is very, very important. It's very, very important. Now, let me give this on. Okay. Now, what we need to do now is that let me try to give the third one, which is The third one will be to convert Celsius, degree Celsius, to Kelvin, and Kelvin to Celsius. Use this formula. Now, it means 1 Kelvin, Kelvin is equals to degree Celsius plus 273, and Celsius, it will be equals to Kelvin minus 273. Please take note of that. I've told you earlier how the scale reeled. Now, with this, we can do anything from Celsius to degree Celsius to Kelvin, or from Kelvin to degree Celsius. Anyhow you want to do it, you are free to do that. Now, for instance, the temperature of a body increased from 30 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. What is the temperature change of the body in Kelvin? Now, if I have something like this, solution to this problem, it means I have temperature change will be equals to 70 degrees Celsius minus 32 degrees Celsius. I've told you earlier that final minus initial, because of what? From here to here. This is the starting, this is the what? This is the initial, and this is the final. Please take note of that. And anytime you are asked to find difference between the points, you must learn to do this. Final minus what? Initial, which it will surely give me 40 degrees Celsius. That is what you are having in Celsius. Now, the next thing I will do now, I want to find what is the temperature change of the body in Kelvin. It means I'm working towards what? Kelvin, which is what, this is what I'm using. It means I'll be saying my Kelvin equals to Celsius plus 273. Now, it means what is my Celsius? Degree Celsius is 40, which is Kelvin will be 40 degrees Celsius plus 40 degrees plus 273, which I'll be having, and then it will be 3. That is my answer. That is my answer to that. That is my answer to that. Now, okay. I'll be stopping here. In our next video, I'll be working on thermometric calculations, thermometric calculation. How do we handle that area? And don't forget that you are on with further solutions. Academy. Encourage us to share and also subscribe. If you have not subscribed before, please help us to press your subscribe button. And if you want to reach us, if you want to contact us, you can meet us on this line, which is call us. You are free to call us. You are free to WhatsApp us. And also Telegram is allowed. Either one of the three. If you are expecting any topic to be there and it's not there yet, drop a comment, you will surely be attended to. Once again, I'm happy. Thank you so much for watching.